Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor. Today I'm going to share with you 3 undeniable signs that your manifestation is very close. The manifestation process, as you may have discovered, can be quite confusing, and especially with the timing of things. A lot of times when something is very close to you, it feels and seems very far away. Because what you're experiencing is your own resistance that needs to kind of come up and be cleansed, if you will, in order for you to be a vibrational match for that thing you want to attract. So ironically, the closer you get, the more of your own resistance kicks up. It can be emotional, physical, and then that plays into like circumstance where it can like seem like, oh, things are going wrong, things are not going according to plan, but really it's just like the peak of that resistance on it. It's like your ego's last-ditch effort to hold you down. And a lot of people confronted with this, they start doubting themselves, they lose faith in their ability to live the life they know in their heart they deserve and want and yearn for. And they start thinking like, man, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not enough. The self-doubt, the unworthiness, all this stuff kicks on. And even though people are, the manifestation's right at the front door, but you don't hear the ring because you're stuck in your head. And many people, they just forget about the door altogether. And all the while, they were very close. So I made this video because I know a lot of people are probably feeling that way right now. And I want to share with you 3 signs that I see, 3 indicators that I've noticed as I'm about to approach what I've been wanting or trying to create in my life so that you can open that door, my friends. Number 1, there's usually an emotional purge. So on one hand, you might have recently felt very excited, very enthused, very passionate about something. And from that frequency of passion, you feel very elevated and capable, confident, optimistic, like this just resonates, this feels like me. I know it, it's here now, I'm gonna do it. And then, something happens and all of that alignment feels like you just can't find it. And it's been replaced by self-doubt, judgment, maybe your own particular unresolved issues that happen to kind of feel are connected to where you're going. And it reminds me when I wanted to be on YouTube, to give you an example. On one hand, I felt passionate to go onto YouTube. On the other hand, when I would turn on the camera, guess what would happen? Instead of feeling that passion that drew me to it initially, instead, I felt all the self-doubt of my adolescent years come up the instant I turned that camera on. And actually, sad to say, I wanted to be on YouTube 6 years before actually joining. And at that time, I didn't know any better. And I just assumed it wasn't meant for me. Because every time I tried, I failed. Every time I turned the camera on, the old insecure inner child completely took me over. My mind went blank. I'd start sweating. I'd get cotton mouth. And it was like, okay, I guess I was mistaken. I guess this isn't for me. I guess I'm not enough is what I told myself. So actually, I broke my camera like a psycho and sort of forgot about it for about 6 years. But it's normal. What was happening is all that stuff was in me. All these unprocessed emotions, these unresolved issues connected to a time in my life where I did feel very insecure and doubtful and shy. All of that is in direct conflict with where I'm being drawn to go. It only makes sense, I suppose, for it to come up, to be released, so I can not only do the YouTube thing, but do it right. Do it where I'm not restricted and weighed down by the past. So if you're feeling that, if you're feeling, whatever emotions you're feeling surrounding this thing probably make you feel incapable, make you feel unworthy, make you feel like it's not gonna work for you. And here's all the reasons why. But just see it through, my friends. See the emotions through and just stay present, stay calm, and trust what's coming up is going out forever. 2, you might find like you aren't gonna be able to get this thing or do this thing because you don't have the time. You don't have the energy, you don't have the bandwidth, you don't have the space in your life for it. So all of a sudden, this thing is just like this dream that will never be fulfilled because you're too bogged down with the old circumstance, the old stories, the old life. However, this also is good. This happens this way sometimes, where maybe, like for example, I went to Salt Lake City recently to see a concert, and it was the first time I went on a trip by myself in a long time. I'm a family, I have 3 kids, a wife, dogs, cats. My cat's walking around, you might be able to see him actually, he's in the backyard here. And I have a lot going on. I don't oftentimes have time for myself. But anyway, I had a couple of days for myself, and when I was out there, left with like basically the option to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, I finally had no one to answer to, no one I was responsible for. Guess what I wanted to do? I wanted to make YouTube videos. I was able to reconnect with a passion I had lost years ago, and it was very clear that this is your destiny. This is your purpose, to make lots of YouTube videos. You love it. You come to life when you do it. And anyway, I left Salt Lake City with that clarity, like this is what I'm gonna do. I cannot wait. And then I came back to one of the busiest weeks I've ever had in my entire life. It was all like a magnified sort of example of the life I've created for myself that is in direct conflict with this newfound passion. So I too found myself wondering, do I have the energy? Is this realistic? But luckily I've learned that passion I felt, the passion you felt, even though it's sort of in the background right now, it's real. And just because it went away for a while, all it means is we got stuff to do. We got to sort of discipline ourselves to make the space, to trim the fat, to set the boundaries, to remove all the obstacles, the distractions, the unessentials, so we have the time and space to truly give birth to this beautiful thing that you're trying to manifest right now. So again, in the same scenario, if anything, it means you're very close, because this is like the last step. Once you clear the space, what do you think is going to happen? Boom, the inspiration returns, the passion returns, and now you have an even runway to just head down 1,000,000 miles an hour. And number 3, you're attracting everything you need. Even if you're feeling doubtful, even if you're losing hope and things like that, you're probably also attracting little reminders, maybe this video saying, keep at it, don't give up, have faith, trust, do not stop, do not lose hope, keep going. The way it's happened for me is I've been reading this book by Ryan Holiday called Discipline is Destiny. Anyway, I'm getting kind of dripped on here. And anyway, I would, as I've been going through these different like emotional cycles, and also as I mentioned a minute ago, my circumstances have been kind of busy, I would just happen to wake up in the morning and turn to this like little chapter that would give me the exact like spot on wisdom and advice I need for that hour of the day. And it's been happening constantly. And you might be feeling that as well. You might feel like you get to like, it's almost like you bring yourself to a certain low point, you know, whether it's emotional or whether you feel like, you know, discouraged because you're busy or something, or something happens, you get an email and it just feels like, oh, all hope is lost. You get to this certain low, but just at the perfect depth to where then, it's like once you see something you needed to see, then the divine support comes in. And you might find yourself attracting things like that to keep you on course. But the most important takeaway I want to leave you with is to trust your judgment when you're in the flow, when you're having that idea, when you're contemplating this future you want to bring into reality, and it resonates, not just like mentally, it doesn't just stimulate your intellectual, you know, fascination. It's more like a physical nervous system resonance. Like when you play I love singing bowls. You play a singing bowl, and what happens is your brain waves start to entrain themselves to that frequency and become in harmony with that singing bowl. So too these ideas, when you have them, the same thing, there's this compatibility with your nervous system. And I recommend you trust that as your highest barometer of truth, rather than when you get into like the stinking thinking and the doubts come up and the blocks come up from this sort of forlorn, discouraged, down, lowly state. Then we start thinking, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. It's like, would you trust a person who's in a funky mood? No, don't trust yourself. Don't forget that fire you once felt, my friend. It's there, it's real, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's like right now it's a cloudy day, but the sun's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. There are just clouds. So don't let the clouds stop you from getting what's yours, my friends. Keep on, keep it on, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Much love. Peace.